Raul Speek. He told me about his autumn, how he saw trees at Solva burn through his window, how every leaf would drop away to Neverland. He told me of his unknown seasons under ice and snow, how light had changed his heart, changed the palette on his canvas. He spoke of Cuban hills, of Cuban shores, Picasso and Turner, of blue unending skies. He showed me his Ophelia resting in a Caribbean sea. On the chapel floor he did a salsa, salsa in my arms. He sat at his piano and mellowed the street, calmed the vessels in the tidal creek.
Cucurucho
de maní, de naranja.
Pero todo lo que dicen era solo mentira. Mariana, sí, Mariana, sí, Mariana, sí, se quiere casar conmigo. Mariana, sí, se quiere casar conmigo. The sea is very important for Caribbean people. You know, we are surrounded by the sea, and it's, we all the connotation that the sea who have got are there embellished. By the look of this image, you will see the difference of where I'm coming from Cuba to live in UK, specifically in Wales and Pembrokeshire. But you see this photograph, Pembrokeshire could be colorful, and I, over the many years, I asked through my music and through the art, I have got a family as bigger as was my own family in Cuba, with all my friends and my colleagues. One of the social, cultural, social relation with the community is through my music. I very lucky that I have so many friends who love the music we do together. They love the Cuban music. We have the same taste in music. We love the jazz. We love the folk music. And the appearance and it's different to living in here. It's a different country, but because creativity band the act together. No matter where I coming from and the language, the limitation of the culture. I live in London. I have a band in London as well. And when I come into Wales, you would say it's a different language, a different culture. But I surrounded for many years with an amazing amount of good friends and good accomplished musicians. And that has been supported and sustained the way I created in general. This is a festival which is called the Age Festival, who take place every year in the village of Solva where we live. And many people who are in this group, they know me, and has been absolutely unbelievable. And not because I am living away from Cuba where I was born. That is the home where I live and I created. I'm very happy that I has been able to have a family as good as larger of my family in Cuba.
Francisco Guayabal, pero qué bueno está Francisco Guayabal. Y si yo fuese un angelo, yo volaría por el cielo, cielo de tu casa, sí. Venimos, pero que banda tiene usted, Francisco Guayabal. Me voy pa'l monte, no vuelvo más. Yo me voy pa'l monte y no vuelvo más. Guayabal de Yatera, Guantánamo, Francisco Guayabal, pero qué bueno está. Ajá. Yo me voy pa'l monte y no vuelvo más a bailar la rumba, mambo, mambo, a bailar mi rumba. Y si yo fuese un angelo, yo volaría por el cielo, cielo de tu casa. Y si fuese amores verdes, yo volaría por el cielo, cielo de tu casa, sí. Ajá.
Well, it's something when you go to an art school or you have a good academic study, you study the history of painting in general, you realize, for example, that t-shirt, I used to use a tricolor. Remember, I'm from the Caribbean, and when you use, I used to the light from, you can go from Spain to the Caribbean. It's very easy to comprehend. But for the first time I come into Pembrokeshire, and I found a British artist called Jonah Fisher, and he used an enormous quantity of coloratura, very dark color, dark sky. And for me it was a surprise that you can use the kind of palette, darker palette than John used to use, and I was fascinated by that. Slowly has been sneaking into my painting, and I do believe that all my paintings who are created during living in Wales, the majority of them have a color kind of dark.
Raul Speek by Keith Lander. Raul Speek. Raul bursts into his gallery as if for the first time. He carries his laughter and lingo to the piano, where he splashes jazz on walls filled with the colour of his paintings. Here a Madonna and Child, there Jesus and Che Guevara, and screaming the colours of the Caribbean, Ophelia reclining in a turquoise sea. Raul follows our eyes to the painting and leaps to his feet to tell us with glee about the model, a Colleen with big breasts who he found pulling pints in Solva. He dances a salsa with you, refusing to divulge the secrets of his art.
Yeah, I was playing you see the type of color I used to use when I was living in London in the 90s, fresh coming from Cuba. And I have got a vision of how color they are bright in the Caribbean. But since I moved to Wales, I have another series of painting will look like this, where the black and the dark is more heavier and deeper into the work. And that's a very typical of my influence of living in Wales for more than 20 years.